All right, how's everybody doing? Woo! We got one person who's excited. Come on, anybody else excited? Yeah! That's a little bit more energy. Welcome everybody. This is a big turnout. This is actually the sixth one of these we have done. It's the third one we've done here. The first three we actually did in my apartment. Who was with us in any one of the first ones? First three. Anybody? Wow. Wow. So we got a whole new crew. Wow. All right. Awesome.
This is a fun crew.
Upgrade.
There we go. Upgrade.
They all IPO'd.
Yeah. Yeah. There's already been success stories. We won't tell any of them we're upgraded, but yeah, cool. Yeah, as I said, we've done a bunch of these now. We actually have this event now going in 7 different cities across the U.S. Here we have one in Seattle. New York, which actually just did their first event last week. We got another one going in LA. And then just in the last couple of weeks, we also got Denver, Chicago, and also Washington, D.C. So within short order here, if you are traveling around, you might find yourself able to go to an idea kick in some other city as well. So we're really pleased with the progress here, considering it's only really been about maybe 3 months since we started this thing. And to have kind of grown it geographically that much in that short a period of time is pretty cool. So definitely very appreciative of everybody that's made that happen. It certainly has not been just me. There's been a lot of people that have gotten it to that point. So let's give them a big round of applause for everybody else that helped out. All right, we're just going to go through a few announcements here, and then we're going to get to it. So as I said, we've done a few of these at this point. We're starting to become idea kick veterans in some respect, and we're going to tell you a little bit about what that means. I'm also going to go through just really quickly what the format of this thing is, and you can see how that all works, and a couple other things. So first of all, wanted to just give a quick thank you to our sponsors. If you were drinking at Trumer Pills, we need to give a big thank you to them, because they've actually been with us since the very beginning. Really been a great sponsor for us, and it's been really nice to donate a lot of stuff. We don't. Sorry, you're not like kicked out of class or anything. It's cool. So a big round of applause for Trumer. Thank you so much for all the also, a big thank you to Pretzel Crisps. They've been with us for a pretty long time as well. So we kind of balance it out. We have some beverages, we have some food as well. Thank you to them. And that's about it for the moment. So a couple more things. Particularly since we have an upgraded group here, I thought it's probably a good thing to run through. Kind of why are we all here? Why do we do this? Why is this an important event that anybody might even want to spend their time attending? And I really, get to think about it. I really think it boils down to this: if you're interested in entrepreneurship, or you're interested in starting anything, or you're interested in kind of taking some idea that you have and turning it into something real, you really can't do that unless you can kind of first and foremost get some feedback on what it is you're doing. Because usually your first idea is not necessarily the best. It's not perfect. It needs some refinement over different phases and in different areas. And I think the fact that you can get people engaged around it and get people to talk about it a little bit gives you an opportunity to do that in an intelligent way. But more than that, if you think about it, there's really, I can't even honestly think of a company or an organization or a product or any of those kinds of things that has been the effort of just one person. In order for any of these things to succeed, you have to form a team. And when you think of it, you hear investors talk about this all the time. It's like they're betting on the jockey, not the horse. And so kind of if you follow that analogy, that means that getting the jockey part right is fairly important. And in this case, that's getting the team right. So we really think it's cool, and also a useful thing to be able to have an event like this, get everybody together, and hopefully enable teams to form out of this experience. And so there's kind of this other thing out there. It's not just about getting up here and having people tell you what they like about your idea or don't like. It's kind of about, well, how do you take that and actually turn it into something real? And we really think that's important. So anyway, I'll give you a little bit about the format here. It's pretty simple. We're actually going to do this in one room tonight. We were going to do 2, but we got to think about, well, we're going to break up the group kind of a little bit too small. So basically, this is your stage right here, and you have 10 minutes. And basically what we get to do in that 10 minutes is you get to come up here and tell everybody what it is you are interested in. You can tell us a specific idea you have, a problem that you have identified, or a trend that you've been following, any of those kinds of things. Yeah, it really doesn't matter whether this is something you've been thinking about for 6 months and just haven't mentioned to anybody yet, or you've been working on it kind of on your own, or whether you're making it up on the spot. Really, any of that's fine. The only real requirement is that when I say idea, like it can't be something that's already launched. So like if you have an existing company, that's not really an idea at that point. It's a product or it's a company or something kind of beyond that. And I think there's probably a lot of events that are better served to that purpose than this one. But anything that's sort of pre-launch, totally fine. So tell us what you're passionate about. Tell us why you're doing what you're doing. Tell us what why you think this thing you're building or are interested in building, or any of those things is going to be great and why we should care. And after that, so maybe spend a couple minutes on that, 2 to 4 minutes, something like that. After that, we get to kick it around. We get to talk about it, opine on it, offer our opinions. Say, oh, hey, I know this other guy who's interested in this thing too. You should call him. All that kind of stuff. That's really what we're hoping to accomplish here. And in the times we've done this before, I've really seen that, like, at a certain point, this becomes a really, really dynamic experience. It's not just it's not intended to really be a question and answer session or anything like that. It should just be like almost a conversation among friends. I kind of go back. We were doing this one time out of my apartment, which it was kind of insane at a certain point because it just got to be so crowded. I mean, we're all familiar with what San Francisco apartment looks like. There's not exactly a lot of space, and when you're cramming all these people in here, with body to body and this kind of thing, and people were sitting there for like hours on hours and probably consumed way too many beers and that sort of thing. But it was a ton of fun, and there was just like this passionate discourse that was going back and forth, and we kind of even got more excited as the night went on. And my neighbors started asking, like, what is going on? What are you guys doing? And I looked at it, I was like, well, I couldn't think of a good answer off the top of my head. I was like, well, we're starting companies. What do you think? And they're like, really? Like, what do you mean? So it was just kind of bizarre. But at a certain point, we kind of outgrew that space and needed to move it up to a larger venue, which is why we're here. So anyway, that's a little bit about the format. That's kind of how it works, and we're going to kind of run through these. There will be a time limit, so try to hit the 10-minute mark when the alarm goes off. Be kind of making your final point, and that's about it. There's really not too much more to it than that. The only other couple of rules are, be respectful of everybody's ideas. They're standing up here in front of you, trying to get some feedback, trying to get something out of this experience, and if you're sitting there and kind of like, giving them the evil eye, that's not really helping much, right? So, there's no throwing beer bottles at the person, no like throwing pretzel crisp or storming out because you don't like what they have to say or any of those other things. Be nice about it and try to offer some feedback. Try to tell them, hey, I would use it, or I think it could be improved if you did these kinds of things, or all that type of stuff. That's really what we're here to do, and hopefully if everything goes well, you might find yourself with somebody contacting you saying, hey, I'm really interested in that, and why don't we kind of work on it and turn it into something. So I've seen it happen at this event, and actually been a part of it happening as well, so it certainly can. So with that, as I said, we're going to keep everything in this room tonight. In times past, if you've been here, we actually did this in 2 rooms, but for tonight, we're just going to do it here. And as part of our, on our website, there was an area to sign up and actually say that you wanted to present. I know at least a couple people did that. If you were one of those people, who was it? I think it was 2. You did?
Yeah.
Awesome. I guess you're up first then.